Well, have you managed to enjoy any steamed crabs yet? Well, the season's already been open for 30 days now. Don't wait too long. You never know what might happen.
Our watermen might just decide to quit catching crabs. Then we'd be out of luck, wouldn't we? It actually happened once before, back in 1954.
Which is the perfect time to bring in our next guest. I'm, of course, referring to Jim Duffy, author of Secrets of the Eastern Shore. He's here to enlighten us on this Throwback Thursday about the day the Watermen called it quits.
I know.
Say it isn't so.
I'm sorry, but it was 71 years ago. We are on Hooper's Island, remote corner of Dorchester County, and it started out, it was going to be the best year ever. There were so many crabs in the water. Boats were waddling back into dock at the end of the day. Prices started out pretty good. They were at 4 cents for a run-of-the-mill bunch of crabs, 4 cents a pound. It went up to 5 cents. But you know that phrase economists use, supply and demand, right? That kind of came into play when there was too much supply. The price started coming down. It went back down to 4 cents. Then it went to 3.5 cents. Watermen are getting mad. Then it went to 3 cents. They're getting really mad. Then June 28th, they went out in the morning expecting 3 cents. They came back in the afternoon to get 2.5 cents. Wow. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. They all met, all the watermen on Hooper's Island met at the firehouse. And they said, we're done here. Over. We'll catch crabs again when the price is back at 4 cents.
Now, this was quite a summer, wasn't it? The summer of '54, the hit movie On the Waterfront.
Yes, with all that like labor union violence. There was a lot of like really contentious, angry strikes and things like that.
Right.
And the newspapers, like they jumped all over this. The big city papers in Washington and Baltimore, they jumped all over this.
So was it like that here?
It was not. We're talking about Hooper's Island, remember?
Okay.
All right? But those reporters, they were looking for that kind of
looking.
stuff. And they kept coming around, they kept talking to people and like, you know, what's going on with your neighbors and everything like that. And they kept getting quotes. There was one woman, Mrs. Phillips, said, this is the friendliest place in the world. We're okay. And they talked to one of the crab processing guys, Oscar Nelson. He says, yeah, there's a lot of tension, but you know, we're all right. We just have to figure this thing out. My favorite was the guy who, they didn't name him in the story, but he decided he was worried about how much tension there was on the island. So he threw a baseball game. Got everybody on both sides to play in a baseball game. I suspect there was a lot of beer involved, but they were determined to stay neighbors even while there was a whole bunch of arguing and yelling going on. They were determined to stay neighbors, which is kind of, to me, what makes the story interesting and a little bit more Delmarva. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah. So the strike lasted like 3 weeks. And it was that guy I mentioned, Oscar Nelson, was the one who kind of broke the ice or did. He guaranteed the crabbers a price of 3.5 cents for a stretch of like 5 days. And then he promised there would be no more June 28th surprises where they'd come back in the afternoon to a lower price. And he too had this wonderful, just really modest quote. He was like, I don't know if what I'm doing is right or what I'm doing is wrong, but somebody's got to try something here, so let's see if this works. And they went back out. The other crab processing houses all decided to agree to do what he did. Yeah. And everybody went back out, and things kind of got back to normal.
Wow.
You know, the only real bitter, angry moment in the whole thing came thanks to those big city newspaper reporters. The Baltimore Sun did a big editorial, and it was called Trouble in Crabdom. And it was a mean piece of writing. They kept talking about how this was a different place, and they were very clear about what they meant by different. They meant backwards, no progress, uncivilized. This is just a terrible backwater, you know. And after the strike, the watermen got together with the fire company, and they wrote a response. And some of the response was like, you know, hey, we got a first-class firehouse here, we got a first-class school here, what are you guys talking about? But then they went on, right? And here's what they said. Is there anything different or uncivilized when people have disagreements and then get together as a community to try to work out an agreeable way to cope with their disagreement?
Ooh.
And it ends, I wish that I had like an Uncle Sam suit, because it's
Right.
kind of like a Hooper's Island Declaration of Independence. It ends, we believe in the right of men and women of whatever creed, class, color, ancestry to live as human beings with dignity of being children of God. We believe in the right to be free, the right to work, the right to learn, the right to live, and what is equally important, the right to be different. For we know that if we ever lose our right to be different, we lose our right to be free.
Ooh, can I have that? I could use that.
Chuck one up in the win column for the people of Hooper's Island.
Hooper's Island said,
Exactly.
What do you think
Take
of that?
that, Baltimore
Like that.
Sun.
That was
Take
awesome.
that.
What a great story. As always, thank you for sharing,
Yes.
Jim Duffy, Secrets of the
It was
Eastern
lovely.
Shore.